thing ain't gonna work. I'm gonna yell at y'all today. Because it ain't gonna work. Okay. So we'll just, there. Kay was right. I'm gonna go buy a new one. I done had enough. Facebook, bear with me while I turn this thing off. And while Michelle helps me get it off of me. Without messing up the hair. Because, you know, it took 20 minutes to get this right. How many of you remember what we talked about last week? Last week, we talked about Joseph. Joseph was right-hand man to Pharaoh up in Egypt. Joseph told his family, y'all come on to Egypt. I'll take care of you. I'll get you through the famine. Okay, so now, oh my God, they may need assistance. So now we take Joseph and we move past him. Joseph is gone. Now we have a Pharaoh. For real, they destroying things. Woo, Facebook, hold on. We might need to like do a... They good? Whew, I was worried. I was worried about Miss Janelle and Miss Leslie. So... Maybe we should just play the music some more. So Joseph's family came, and Joseph dies. The Israelites have multiplied. We have a new Pharaoh that does not know who Joseph was. So he's not going to honor any promises that had been made to Joseph. He looks out, he sees the Israelites, and he's like, there's too many of these people. What happens if they rise up and take over? So he decides every male Israelite baby has to be murdered. At birth, kill him. That's what he tells the midwives. The midwives refuse. And then we go into this other place. So today, I'm going to talk to you about a baby. A baby that becomes someone very important. The baby becomes Moses. Moses becomes the one who stands face to face with a burning bush. And here's the words, you're standing on holy ground, take your shoes off. Moses is the one that ends up leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Out of their bondage, out of captivity. And he leads them almost into the promised land. Moses is the one that stands face to face with Jesus. And has to hide his face when he comes back down from being with God. I said Jesus, my bad. He has to come back down the mountain and he has to cover his face. Because he's glowing. And he doesn't want to freak the Israelites out. Moses. Moses who became this great leader. This great person. But he started as a baby. Because, you know, we all start like babies. So we're in Exodus chapter 2. Verse 1. A man from the family of Levi married a Levite woman. The woman became pregnant and had a son. She saw there was something special about him and hid him. She hid him for 3 months. When she couldn't hide him any longer, she got a little basket boat made of papyrus, waterproofed it with tar and pitch, and placed the child in it. Then she set it afloat in the reeds at the edge of the Nile. So he's a baby. And mama sees this baby. Now, okay, I'm not a mama. So the mamas, y'all have to help me out. But mama sees this baby. And mama sees great things. I assume that when mama looks at this baby, mama feels like this is the greatest treasure I've ever been given. Is that close, mamas? Yep. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good, Facebook. So it's her greatest treasure. And she has to take it and hide it for 3 months. Then she has to take it and put it in the river. And then she has to push it away and let it go. I got a mama shaking her head no. But mama did that. She took the baby, put him in the basket, put him in the river, and let her treasure go. Moses. The baby that would become Moses. This is how he starts. Floating down a river. Mama had no guarantees of who would find that basket. She had no guarantees about what would happen once the basket was found. But she trusted in Holy.
Amen.
She trusted Holy enough to say, this is my most precious gift that has been given to me, and I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. That mama made hard decisions. We make hard decisions. We make hard decisions every day. We have to decide where we spend our money, where we spend our time, what we do, what we don't do, who we allow in our lives, who we don't allow in our lives. If we speak up when we see things, if we don't speak up, these are all hard decisions that we all face. And Mama, her decision was different, but it was still hard. So I'm going to be real with y'all. Another hard decision was made in the wee hours of the morning. I had to decide if I was going to take us down a path that would be uncomfortable for some. I had to decide if you guys would trust me enough to get us there. I had to decide if you would trust God enough to guide us there. I was scared to death. But we're going to do this thing today. We're going to talk about some hard stuff. So let me tell you something about me. I love money. I like it a lot. I like saving it. I like spending it. I like being able to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. And so when preachers come at me and would tell me that I had to give them my money, you don't touch my stuff. That's mine. That's my money. I earned it. I worked for it, not you. Don't touch my money. I had problems with it. I had problems when people would tell me, you need to be more committed. What do you mean I need to be more committed? You know, you're a part of this church. You should be more committed. You should show up more than the day that we assign you a job to do. Oh, you want more of me? Yes. Maybe. I got to think about it. Christy, you're really talented. You need to be using your talents in the church. That requires getting up and being at the church at 9:30 in the morning to practice the songs, get everything ready, and then sing. I don't know if I want to do all that. I had the wrong thinking going on, right? Stinking thinking, as somebody used to call it. Joyce Meyer. And it wasn't until I started looking at it the way I'm going to explain it to you today that it made sense to me. I'm not going to talk about a couple of things. You're not going to hear me talk about no 10% tithing. I mean, yeah, it's in there, but so is lots of other stuff. 800 times in the Bible, we talk about money. 800 times. Every time Jesus talked about it, though, it was interesting. Jesus would talk about the money, but then he'd follow it up with some social justice action. In Matthew 19, he talks to a young man. A rich young man comes to him and says, what do I have to do? Just tell me, what do I have to do to follow you? Jesus says, okay, go sell everything you have, give the money to the poor. The rich young man walked away brokenhearted. Why? Because it's hard to let go of the treasures that we have accumulated. And he didn't want to. And the disciples looked at Jesus and was like, what's up? What just happened? Jesus said, well, I tell you the truth. It is easier to race a camel through the eye of a needle than for rich people to give away what they have. And the disciples say, well, if he stands no chance, how do we stand a chance? If you only trust yourself, you don't stand a chance. You have to trust wholly. Amen. So today what I'm talking to you about isn't just about our time, our money, our treasures, our talents. I'm talking about a heart thing. I'm talking about trusting wholly. See, we're each given something, right? We each have something that we can share with this community of believers. And it's up to us if we share it or not. Y'all giving me some looks, so let me help y'all out real quick. I promised y'all I would always tell y'all the truth. We ain't talking about we fixing to shut these doors. We're not talking about that. We're not on the brink of a financial disaster, okay? That's not what's happening. Now, are we using money that we should be saving? Yes, we are. Will it run out eventually? Yes, it will. It happens. There's these things called budgets. I live and breathe them. Other people, not so much. But what we want to talk about today isn't the financial burden that is a part of being this church. It's a part of our denomination. Did anybody see the article that was on Facebook about the Corpus Christi church that had to close their doors? And it wasn't because of Hurricane Harvey. Nope, nobody? They were an MCC church in Corpus Christi. And they had to shut down basically because it had no support. There was nothing coming in, so they couldn't continue the work that they were doing. This is something that our denomination is facing. They're trying to figure out, how do we change the direction things are going? How do you make people feel committed to something? How do you make people feel like it's worth their time, it's worth their energy? So let me ask you something. You know people that are obsessed with certain things? So we have some people in the church, they're not here today, but we have some people in the church, they are obsessed with running. You know what they do? They make the time to go running. Mm-hmm. They make the time to go running. They make the time. They get up at whatever butt crack of dawn hour they want to get up at, and they go run. They're committed to it. Mm-hmm. It's worth their time. It's worth their energy. There's a scripture, if I can find it. Matthew 6:21. I don't even have to look it up, I don't think, but I will. The place where your treasure is the place you will most want to be, and it's where you will end up being. So the runners, what they value is that run. It matters more than anything else. So they're going to make the time for it. They're going to make the commitment to do it. What if you like to travel? You're going to commit to it. You're going to save the money so that you can book the trip that you want to go on. You're committed to it. So that's where your treasure is. Your money goes to it. Your time goes to it. Let's say you're a person that has recently become obsessed with protest t-shirts. You commit to finding the money to buy the t-shirts. You commit to putting the t-shirt on and wearing the t-shirt. It became important. So what did I do? I committed to it. I made time for it, and I gave my money. I'm not asking you to give up anything. I'm asking you to search yourself. That mother took that baby and put that baby in the river and let the baby go, trusting that Holy was going to grab hold of that baby and turn that baby into a great human being that would do great things. It takes time, money, and energy to do what we do here. It takes time, money, and energy to do what we do outside of here. You know, because you've participated. So what I'm asking you is, do you trust Holy enough to let go of your treasure? Do you trust Holy enough to let go and say, okay, I can commit to $5 a month. And I can trust you with that. I can commit to $20 a month. And Holy, I can trust you with that. And I can trust that you're going to take that and you're going to turn it into something that's going to help people. It's going to set them free. They're going to walk from hate into light, because that's what we're going to do. That's the work we're about. Yeah. Does it matter to you? Because when something matters, you're going to do what you have to do to make it happen. That's right. You're going to show up and support your church. You're going to be here. You ain't going to just show up when I say, Tony, I need you to play bass on the third Sunday of every month. You're not going to just show up on the third Sunday of every month. You're going to be here because you love these people. Because see, that's what it's about. You have to love each other. You have to be committed to each other. I'm not telling you that you got to be committed to MCC, the denomination. I don't care. But you have to love each other enough that you care enough that you're going to put the money in the plate because you believe that that's going to help somebody else. And then they're going to help somebody else. And then they're going to help somebody else. You have to care about one another. I'm asking you to commit to one another, not MCC, not me. I'm asking you, if you are a community of believers and you believe that you can do great things, you look at each other and you see that you can be something more than you are being. Yes, you can. Support this place. Right. Support one another. Right. Put your money in the offering. Give your time. Give your talent. Do whatever needs to be done to get us where we need to be. And y'all ain't loud enough right now. Amen. It's a little hot up in here. I ain't telling you you got to give no 10%. I'm telling you, you have to trust wholly with your treasure. You have to trust God to grow us. You have to trust one another. You have to be able to know that we have your back if you need us. You have to know that we have you. I have to know that y'all have me. I ask Kay every Sunday, Kay, you got my back? Right. You gonna back me up if I make a big old mess of things today, Kay? And Kay always says, yeah, I can do that. You have to commit to one another. You have to commit your treasure, your time, and your talent to holy. You have to say, here's my gift. All that I have is yours. Take it, turn it into something great. Take Joni, turn her into something great. If something we do here can help Joni be something great, let's do that.
That's right.
If it can make Lynn have a ministry that Lynn wouldn't have had any other way, let's do that. Commit to one another. Commit to the work of this church. Your money, your time, and your talent. Because y'all are some talented people and y'all like to just sit back and act like I don't know. Y'all think all I know about is the band. Wrong. It takes talent to go in that room with them kids. It also takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
I would rather be out here with y'all because I think they might murder me. They're little, oh yeah. But you know what's so great about a kid? You can tell a kid, hey, Johnny needs 25 cents to be able to have chocolate milk at snack time. That kid is going to automatically look at their little change and go, I have 25 cents. They ain't going to think about, am I going to get it back? Is there a return on my investment?
That's right.
No. They're not thinking about that. They're like, Johnny needs chocolate milk for snack time. I got 25 cents, Johnny. That's the great thing about kids. Kids get this stuff. Adults, that's my money. Don't you touch it. It's mine. I ain't got to give it to you. I ain't got to get up and be at the church at 11 o'clock on a Sunday. I'm going to sleep in. First, I'm going to get up and go do some stuff. Then I'm going to come back home and sleep in. Because you know I was up all night. Do you care about each other enough? This is the question you need to ask yourself. Because here's the truth. We can keep going the way we're going. We can keep using up our savings. We can get to a place where we look you dead in your face and go, so, next Sunday, that's the last Sunday. What songs y'all want to sing? And you know what? It's up to us. It's up to us. And we're all at different levels, okay? Let's don't even act like we're not. Some of us have more to give than others do. It doesn't matter. What matters is your heart.
Amen.
Are you trusting wholly and saying, okay, I'm going to push my treasure down the river? She stood at the edge of the river and she let her baby go. The greatest gift she had ever been given. And she said, God, you got him. Whatever you're going to make him, that's what he's going to be. We're Thrive MCC. But how much do we trust? And how committed are we? That mama made a hard decision. Then she stood there and she said, God's got me. Holy has me.
That's right.
Do you trust that God has you? Do you trust that these people love you and are going to be here for you? Do you trust Holy to take Thrive and turn it into something else? Moses became a man that stood face to face with God and glowed. He was like Edward, all sparkly. Shiny. That's from Moana. Whoever, if you don't know, you got to watch it. There's this crab and he's all shiny. But anyway, Moses stood face to face with God and literally had the shiny going on. Moses led the Israelites out of their prisons. What if that's your job as Thrive MCC? What if the prisons these people are in? Self-doubt, loneliness, heartbreak, fear. What if those are the things that are holding them captive? And what if you are the light bearers that are supposed to change all of that? We stand at the river. We have our treasure. Do we let it go and trust God?
Yes.
Or do we hold on and say, no, that's mine. That's mine. I'm not sharing. Where your treasure is where your heart is. Where your treasure is where your heart is. So what we're talking about is the same thing we've been talking about for months. Heart condition. Do you trust that Holy has you? Do you trust this community of believers? That woman stood on the river and was courageous. She was very bold and courageous. May we be the same. And all the people said,
Amen.